The massive alien fleet emerged from the void of deep space, its towering warships casting long shadows over the small human military outpost below. The aliens had traveled countless light years, driven by a relentless thirst for conquest and a belief in their own technological superiority. As the alien commander observed the primitive defenses of the human base through the view screen of his flagship, a smug grin spread across his face. "This will be over quickly," he said, addressing his subordinates. "The inhabitants of this insignificant world stand no chance against the might of our armada." Without hesitation, the alien fleet unleashed a barrage of concentrated energy beams and missile salvos, pummeling the human outpost with devastating firepower. Explosions rocked the ground, sending plumes of smoke and debris into the air. The alien commander watched with a sense of triumph, expecting the feeble human resistance to crumble under the onslaught. However, to the aliens' surprise, the human soldiers did not flee or surrender. Instead, they rallied, manning their defensive emplacements and returning fire with a ferocity that caught the invaders off guard. Streams of plasma bolts and kinetic projectiles lanced out from the human positions, finding their mark on the alien vessels. "What is the meaning of this?" the commander growled, his brow furrowed in frustration. "How dare these primitives defy us?" The battle raged on, with the human forces utilizing their limited resources with remarkable efficiency. They deployed advanced tactical maneuvers, coordinating their efforts to maximize the impact of their attacks. The alien ships, though far more powerful individually, found themselves unable to overwhelm the stubborn human resistance. Realizing that the initial assault had failed to break the human defenses, the alien commander ordered his fleet to regroup and reassess their strategy. As the alien warships pulled back, the human soldiers seized the opportunity to bolster their defenses, making preparations for the inevitable counterattack. "This is unacceptable," the commander muttered, his anger simmering. "We will return with overwhelming force and crush these insolent humans once and for all." The alien fleet disappeared back into the void, leaving the human outpost battered but still standing, a testament to the resilience and determination of the small army that had dared to defy the might of the alien invaders. The alien fleet, battered and humbled by their unexpected encounter with the human defenders, retreated to a safe distance to regroup and devise a new strategy. The alien commander paced the bridge of his flagship, his mind racing as he tried to make sense of the recent events. "How is it possible that these primitive humans were able to withstand our assault?" he muttered, his frustration evident in his voice. "Their technology is inferior, their numbers are few, and yet they fight with a tenacity that defies logic." The commander summoned his top advisors, demanding answers. The fleet's intelligence officers presented their findings, analyzing the human tactics and capabilities in meticulous detail. "The humans have displayed remarkable adaptability and resourcefulness," one of the advisors reported. "They have utilized their limited resources in ingenious ways, coordinating their efforts to maximize the effectiveness of their attacks." Another advisor chimed in, "And their leadership seems to be a key factor. The human soldiers exhibit a level of discipline and cohesion that we did not anticipate." The alien commander listened intently, his brow furrowing with each new revelation. "This is unacceptable," he growled. "We are the superior race, the conquerors of countless worlds. How dare these insignificant humans defy us?" Determined to crush the human resistance, the commander ordered his fleet to regroup and prepare for a renewed assault. This time, he would not underestimate the enemy. The alien vessels underwent rapid upgrades and modifications, their armaments and defenses strengthened to overwhelming levels. As the enhanced fleet approached the human outpost once more, the alien commander felt a sense of confidence. "We will show these humans the true power of our civilization," he declared. "They will learn the consequences of defying the might of the Psyloth Empire." The human defenders watched as the alien fleet emerged from the darkness of space, its formidable ships looming ever closer. The commander of the human forces, a seasoned veteran named Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Winters, knew that the aliens would not relent in their quest for victory. "All right, everyone," she said, addressing her troops. "We've held them off once, and we'll do it again. Remember your training, maintain discipline, and above all, don't let them break our spirit. This is our home, and we will defend it to the last." The human soldiers braced themselves, their weapons at the ready, as the alien fleet unleashed its devastating barrage once more. The clash of the two forces was a spectacle of raw power and determination, with neither side willing to back down. As the battle raged on, the alien commander watched with a growing sense of unease. The human defenders, far from being cowed, fought with even greater ferocity, their tactics becoming more sophisticated with each passing moment. "How is this possible?" the commander muttered, his confidence slowly turning to dread. "What are these humans hiding?" The outcome of this confrontation would determine the fate of the human outpost, and perhaps the course of the entire conflict. The alien fleet unleashed a devastating barrage of firepower upon the human outpost, determined to crush the stubborn resistance. Streams of energy beams and missiles rained down, pulverizing the human defenses and reducing structures to rubble. Yet, to the aliens' growing frustration, the human soldiers refused to yield. They fought back with a tenacity that defied all expectations, utilizing their limited resources with remarkable efficiency. Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Winters watched the battle unfold, her eyes narrowed with determination. "Now," she barked, and the human forces sprang into action, revealing a hidden layer of advanced technology and tactical maneuvers. Powerful energy shields flared to life, deflecting the aliens' onslaught. Sleek, agile combat vehicles emerged from concealed positions, their advanced weapons systems unleashing a barrage of plasma bolts and precision-guided missiles. The human soldiers, trained in the art of combined arms warfare, coordinated their efforts with seamless precision. The alien commander, his confidence shaken, stared in disbelief at the unfolding scene. "What is the meaning of this?" he growled, his voice laced with a mixture of shock and anger. "How dare these primitives match our technological superiority?" As the battle raged on, the alien fleet found itself outmaneuvered and outmatched by the human defenders. Their vaunted firepower, which had effortlessly decimated countless other civilizations, proved woefully inadequate against the resourcefulness and adaptability of the human forces. The alien commander gritted his teeth, his frustration mounting with each passing moment. "This is unacceptable," he roared, slamming his fist against the armrest of his command chair. "We are the Tyloth Empire, the conquerors of 1,000 worlds. How can these insignificant humans defy us?" His subordinates remained silent, their own doubts and uncertainty reflected in their expressions. They had witnessed the alien fleet's overwhelming technological superiority, neutralized by the humans' innovative tactics and unflinching determination. As the battle reached a crescendo, the human forces executed a daring maneuver, launching a coordinated assault that crippled several of the alien warships. The commander watched helplessly as his vaunted fleet began to falter, his grip on the situation slipping through his fingers. "Retreat," he ordered, his voice laced with defeat. "We must regroup and reassess our strategy." The alien vessels, their hulls scared and their systems damaged, reluctantly disengaged from the battle, their retreat a bitter acknowledgment of the humans' unexpected capabilities. Lieutenant Colonel Winters watched as the alien fleet disappeared back into the void, a grim satisfaction etched on her face. "Well done, everyone," she said, addressing her troops. "But this is far from over. The aliens will be back, and we must be ready." The human outpost, battered but still standing, had once again defied the expectations of the alien invaders, setting the stage for an even greater confrontation to come. The alien fleet, its pride wounded and its confidence shaken, retreated to a secure location to regroup and reevaluate its strategy. The commander, his brow furrowed in deep thought, paced the bridge of his flagship, his mind racing to comprehend the unexpected turn of events. How is it possible that these humans, with their primitive technology and limited resources, have managed to withstand our might? he muttered, his frustration evident in every word. The commander summoned his top advisors, demanding answers. The fleet's intelligence officers presented their findings, revealing a deeper understanding of the human forces and their remarkable capabilities. The humans possess a number of traits that we have underestimated, one of the advisors began. Their leadership, for instance, is a key factor in their success. The human commanders exhibit a level of adaptability, creativity, and tactical acumen that we have not encountered before. Another advisor chimed in. And their soldiers, despite their numerical inferiority, display an unwavering discipline and cohesion that allows them to maximize the impact of their limited resources. The commander listened, his expression darkening with each new revelation. Creativity. Adaptability. He spat. These are not the hallmarks of a superior civilization. They are the traits of savages, not true warriors. Yet, as the commander delved deeper into the intelligence reports, he could not deny the undeniable evidence before him. The human forces were not merely lucky or stubborn. They possessed a unique set of qualities that gave them a distinct advantage over the alien invaders. They are willing to take risks and try unconventional approaches, one of the advisors explained. This flexibility, combined with their resourcefulness and problem-solving skills, allows them to adapt to changing circumstances and find innovative solutions to complex challenges. The commander's jaw tightened, his pride and arrogance clashing with the growing realization that the humans were not the primitive, easy targets he had assumed them to be. "This is unacceptable," he growled. "We are the Psyloth Empire, the conquerors of 1,000 worlds. We cannot be bested by these insignificant creatures." As the debate raged on, the commander found himself torn between two courses of action: continue the assault with overwhelming force, or seek a diplomatic solution to avoid a prolonged and costly conflict. The decision weighed heavily on his mind, for he knew that the outcome would not only determine the fate of the human outpost, but also the reputation and standing of the Psyloth Empire itself. The commander's expression hardened with determination. "We will not be defeated by these humans," he declared. "We will adapt, we will innovate, and we will crush them with the full might of our civilization. The Psyloth Empire will not be humbled by these primitive beings." With renewed resolve, the commander set in motion a plan to turn the tide of the conflict, determined to uncover the secrets of the human forces and find a way to defeat them once and for all. The alien fleet, battered and bruised from the previous confrontations with the human defenders, returned to the human outpost with a newfound sense of caution and respect. Gone was the arrogant dismissal of the enemy. In its place, a growing realization that these primitive humans were far more formidable than they had initially believed. As the alien warships approached the human defenses, the commander stood on the bridge of his flagship, his expression grim. "Ready the weapons," he ordered, his voice betraying a hint of uncertainty. "But hold your fire until my command." The human forces, led by the steadfast Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Winters, watched the alien fleet's arrival with a mixture of trepidation and resolve. They had held their ground once before, and they were prepared to do so again. "All right, everyone," Winters addressed her troops. "They're back, and this time, they're not underestimating us. Stay sharp, maintain your positions, and be ready to respond on my mark." The tension in the air was palpable as the two forces faced off, each side sizing up the other, waiting for the first move to be made. Aboard the alien flagship, the commander studied the human defenses, his brow furrowed in concentration. "They have reinforced their positions," he observed, his tone thoughtful, "and their weapon systems appear to have been upgraded as well." One of the advisors stepped forward, his voice cautious. "Commander, perhaps it would be prudent to reconsider our approach. The humans have proven themselves to be more than just simple-minded primitives. Continuing this assault could result in unacceptable losses for our fleet." The commander's jaw tightened, his pride and ambition clashing with the growing realization that the human forces were not to be underestimated. "No," he said firmly, "we will not withdraw. The Psyloth Empire does not retreat in the face of adversity." Steeling himself, the commander turned to his subordinates. Order the fleet to commence the assault. But this time, we will not underestimate our foes. Engage the enemy with caution and precision. I want every last one of those humans eliminated. The alien vessels opened fire, unleashing a devastating barrage of energy beams and missiles upon the human outpost. Yet, to the aliens' growing dismay, the human defenders responded with a level of coordination and firepower that far exceeded their previous encounter. Energy shields flared to life, deflecting the alien onslaught. Sleek combat vehicles and mobile artillery platforms emerged from their concealed positions, their advanced weapon systems pummeling the alien fleet with devastating accuracy. Lieutenant Colonel Winters watched the battle unfold, a grim determination etched on her face. "Hold your ground, men," she shouted, her voice carrying across the battlefield. "We've done it before, and we'll do it again." As the clash of the two forces continued, the alien commander could not help but feel a growing sense of respect for the human soldiers. Their tenacity, their adaptability, and their unwavering refusal to surrender. These were qualities that the Tyloth Empire had not encountered in their previous conquests. "They are not mere savages," the commander muttered to himself, his fingers drumming thoughtfully on the armrest of his command chair. "They are warriors, worthy of our respect." The outcome of this battle would determine the future of the human outpost, and perhaps the entire conflict between the two civilizations. Neither side was willing to back down, and the stakes had never been higher. The battle raged on, with both the alien fleet and the human defenders fighting with a ferocity that belied the stark disparity in their technological capabilities. The human soldiers, led by the resolute Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Winters, continued to defy the alien invaders, utilizing every resource at their disposal to maintain their tenacious defense. Aboard the alien flagship, the commander paced the bridge, his expression a mixture of frustration and begrudging respect. The humans had proven to be a far more formidable adversary than he had ever anticipated, and the losses sustained by his fleet were mounting with each passing engagement. "We cannot continue this assault indefinitely," the commander muttered, his brow furrowed in deep contemplation. "Our resources are being depleted, and our ships are taking heavy damage. Perhaps it is time to reconsider our strategy." One of the advisors, a seasoned military tactician, stepped forward with a cautious tone. "Commander, I must advise against continuing this campaign. The human forces have demonstrated an uncanny ability to adapt and overcome our technological advantages. Further confrontation may result in unacceptable losses that could cripple our entire fleet." The commander's jaw tightened, his pride and ambition clashing with the pragmatic realities of the situation. "Unacceptable losses," he growled, his voice laced with a hint of indignation. "We are the Tyloth Empire, the conquerors of 1,000 worlds. We do not retreat in the face of such a primitive foe." Another advisor, a more diplomatic-minded officer, cleared his throat. "Commander, perhaps it would be prudent to consider alternative approaches. These humans, while formidable, may be more receptive to negotiations than further conflict." The commander turned to the advisor, his expression skeptical. "Negotiations? With these savages?" He shook his head emphatically. "No, we will not stoop to such measures. We will crush them with the full might of our civilization, or we will die trying." The bridge of the flagship fell silent, the tension palpable as the commander's subordinates grappled with the gravity of the situation. They knew that continuing the assault could result in devastating losses, but they also feared the consequences of a diplomatic failure. After a long contemplative pause, the commander turned to his officers, his expression resolute. "Prepare for another assault. We will strike the human outpost with everything we have. This time, we will not hold back." As the alien fleet readied its weapons, the human defenders braced themselves for the impending onslaught. Lieutenant Colonel Winters knew that the stakes had never been higher, and that the outcome of this battle could determine the fate of her people. "Hold your ground, men," she said, addressing her troops. "We've come this far, and we will not be broken. Whatever happens, we fight for our home, our freedom, and our future. The clash of the two forces once again shook the very foundations of the human outpost as the aliens unleashed a barrage of devastating firepower. The human defenders responded with a fury born of desperation, their weapons blazing in a desperate attempt to hold back the invaders. The future of the human-alien conflict hung in the balance, with neither side willing to back down, and the consequences of failure too dire to contemplate. As the human outpost braced itself for the impending onslaught from the relentless alien fleet, a glimmer of hope emerged from an unexpected source. Unbeknownst to the Psyloph Empire, the humans had been forging alliances with other alien civilizations, their reputation for resilience and innovation spreading like wildfire across the interstellar community. Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Winters stood tall, her gaze fixed on the approaching alien vessels. "Hold your positions, men," she commanded, her voice steady and resolute. "Help is on the way." True to her words, a diverse array of alien ships suddenly materialized on the battlefield, their arrival heralded by a cacophony of warning signals and defensive maneuvers from the Psyloph fleet. The alien commander, his expression a mixture of shock and fury, whirled around to face his advisors. "What is the meaning of this?" he roared, his voice laced with a sense of betrayal. "Who dares to interfere with the conquest of the Psyloph Empire?" One of the advisors, his face etched with a combination of fear and awe, quickly delivered the report. "Sir, we are detecting vessels from the Caldarian Confederacy, the Xiphon Republic, and the Alarian Alliance. They appear to be responding to a distress call from the human outpost." The commander's eyes narrowed, his mind racing to comprehend the implications of this unexpected development. "Impossible," he muttered, his grip tightening on the armrest of his command chair. How could these insignificant humans have forged such alliances? As the new alien forces joined the battle, the tide began to turn against the Psyloph fleet. The coordinated attacks, combining the diverse capabilities of the Allied ships, overwhelmed the Psyloph vessels, forcing them to retreat and regroup. Lieutenant Colonel Winters watched the unfolding events with a growing sense of relief and determination. "This is our chance," she said, addressing her troops. "We must seize the opportunity and strike with everything we have." The human defenders, their spirits buoyed by the arrival of their unexpected allies, launched a fierce counterattack, their advanced weaponry and tactical prowess wreaking havoc among the Psyloph ships. The alien commander, his face contorted with a mixture of frustration and disbelief, struggled to maintain control of the situation. "This cannot be happening," he muttered, his hands clenched into fists. "We are the Psyloph Empire, the conquerors of 1,000 worlds. How can these primitives and their allies defeat us?" As the battle raged on, the commander found himself torn between the desire to press forward with the assault and a growing realization that such a course of action could lead to the complete annihilation of his fleet. The stakes had never been higher, and the fate of the Psyloph Empire itself hung in the balance. With a heavy heart, the commander made the difficult decision to order a strategic retreat, his pride and ambition temporarily overshadowed by the harsh realities of the situation. "Prepare the fleet for withdrawal," he commanded, his voice tinged with a hint of resignation. "We will regroup and devise a new strategy to deal with these unexpected adversaries." The human forces, bolstered by the support of their newfound allies, watched as the battered Psyloph fleet retreated into the vastness of space, their victory bittersweet but undeniable. Lieutenant Colonel Winters allowed herself a brief moment of triumph, but she knew that the true test lay ahead. The battle had only just begun, and the future of both their civilizations hung in the balance. The Psyloph fleet, battered and outnumbered, retreated to a secure location to regroup and devise a new strategy. The alien commander, his pride wounded and his confidence shaken, paced the bridge of his flagship, his mind racing with a mixture of fury and desperation. How dare these insignificant humans and their allies defy the might of the Psyloph Empire? He snarled, his fists clenched tightly at his sides. "We are the conquerors of 1,000 worlds, and we will not be denied our victory." The commander's advisors, their expressions a mix of trepidation and uncertainty, offered tentative suggestions, but the commander brushed them aside. Consumed by his own single-minded determination to crush the human-led coalition. "No more retreating," he declared, his voice laced with a dangerous edge. "We will return to the human outpost and unleash the full might of our arsenal. This time, we will not stop until every last one of those meddling aliens and their human puppets are destroyed." Rallying his battered fleet, the commander led the charge back towards the human outpost, his ships bristling with an array of upgraded weaponry and defensive systems. The human forces, led by the resolute Lieutenant Colonel Sarah Winters, braced themselves for the impending onslaught, their own ranks bolstered by the presence of their newfound alien allies. As the two fleets clashed in a spectacular display of raw power, the battle quickly escalated into a brutal and unforgiving confrontation. The human-led coalition, with its tactical flexibility and innovative strategies, managed to neutralize many of the Psylocke fleet's technological advantages, forcing the alien commander to adapt his tactics on the fly. Explosions rocked the battlefield, with both sides sustaining heavy losses. The human defenders, their weapons blazing, fought with a ferocity that belied their numerical inferiority, while the alien fleet, its pride and arrogance shattered, struggled to maintain its offensive momentum. The alien commander, his expression twisted with a combination of rage and desperation, watched helplessly as his once vaunted fleet began to falter under the relentless onslaught of the human-led coalition. "Impossible," he muttered, his voice laced with disbelief. "How can this be happening?" As the battle reached its climactic conclusion, the human forces, their ranks bolstered by the unwavering support of their alien allies, launched a devastating counterattack that crippled the Psylocke fleet's command and control systems. The alien commander, his options rapidly dwindling, made a last-ditch effort to rally his remaining ships, but the human-led coalition's superior coordination and firepower proved too much to overcome. With a growing sense of dread, the commander realized that the end was near. His fleet, once a symbol of the Psylocke Empire's might, was now a shattered and broken remnant, its defeat imminent. "No," he growled, his voice thick with anguish and defiance. "I will not be humbled by these insignificant creatures." But as the human-led coalition closed in, the Psylocke commander knew that there was no escape, no more victories to be claimed. With a heavy heart, he issued the order to surrender, his once formidable empire reduced to a shadow of its former glory. The human forces, led by the triumphant Lieutenant Colonel Winters, watched as the alien fleet, its will to fight finally broken, retreated from the battlefield, a testament to the resilience and determination of the small army that had defied the odds and emerged victorious.